Hello everyone, I'm Sean, alright, and this is Everyday Food Reviews. Today we've got some donuts to look at. And these are from project.doughnut, which is a donut delivery service based in the Midlands. I think they're from Burton. And they claim to make very, very good donuts. They are handmade, they don't contain artificial ingredients, which is cool. Now I'll quickly show you what I've got. Okay, so we've got 4 donuts there. We'll get a thumbnail like that. Okay, so we've got 4 donuts here. I'm going to get my phone out in a minute and tell you about each one, but just before I do, these, they're big and they're heavy, I'll say that, but it's £11 for 4 donuts, and then the delivery is £4 on top of that. So I've paid £15 for 4 donuts. Now, I've heard that they're very good. I'm expecting them to be very good. But in terms of ordering them, the delivery's limited mostly to within the Midlands. So what you do, you go on the website and you select that you want to order some donuts. You select the date that corresponds to the day that they're delivering in your area. So it'll say like October 16th, they're delivering in Stafford and Stoke and other areas. So you click on that, and then you choose the selection that you want. Now those selections are all of 4 donuts and they're £11 each, but if you order 2 you can get them for £20, so that's tenner each, or 3 for £27, which is £9 each. And then you got the £4 delivery. The delivery didn't come with any sort of confirmation or tracking or anything, but there must have been some tracking available, because as soon as I'd accepted the delivery I got a text message saying that the order had been delivered. But prior to that, I'd even tried going back on the website, checking my emails and everything. I couldn't find any confirmation that it was out for delivery or anything. So you want to bear that in mind if you're a little bit anxious like I am. But that aside, these look and smell very, very good. I'll just tell you a little bit about each one. So, because they've all got funny names, because, you know, everything, it's 2020, everything has to have an interesting, trendy name, and they do different. If you go on the website, you'll see this is a Halloween themed box. I ordered this one because it seemed to be the most chocolatey out of what they've got available at the moment. I missed out on one that was called School of Choc and had various chocolate donuts. This one's Halloween themed donuts. So we've got Down in the Dirt, which is a chocolate donut with Oreos and gummy worms on it. We've got the Jack-o'-lantern, which is an orange one with green frosting in the middle. We've got Parallel Universe, which is a raspberry ripple glaze with vanilla frosting and Halloween sprinkles. I don't know what flavour they'll be, but they've got raspberry chocolate skulls on them. And we've got Sergeant Scareface, which is a dark chocolate glaze with Halloween sprinkles, Rolos, and a caramel smile. So, I did get this little pamphlet, well, flyer in there as well, which reminds you that to enjoy these donuts, specifically it says if you're looking for the ultimate project.d experience. Did I mention the company's called project.d or project.doughnut? Simply put your donut in the microwave for 10 to 15 seconds. Now that's always been my favourite way of eating any donut. All the donuts, I don't think there's any donut I've ever had that's not better when it's just slightly warm. And given the size of these, I'm not going to eat each one of these donuts right now anyway. So what I'll do, stop the recording, I'll cut them into quarters and then put the 4 quarters in the microwave for a few seconds, then come back, then taste them. So we'll see you in a second. Okay, so we're back from the microwave. We've got a quarter of each donut to try. Now, one thing worth noting, if you are going to cut them into quarters like I have, say if you're ordered them to share with 3 other people, and you each want to try all 4 donuts in the box. The donuts aren't necessarily symmetrical, so you notice with the Sergeant Scareface one, half the donut's got the caramel smile, the other half's got the Rolo eyes. The pink one, whatever that was called, Parallel Universe, you've only got 2 of those chocolate skulls. Now cutting them in half, you could do it in a fairly symmetrical fashion, but some of these with the fancier decorations, I know they do in the Harry Potter box. There's one with a Twix on, for example. It's going to be difficult to cut them in half and try a bit of everything. So on this one, I've got the part of the Parallel Universe that has the skull on, and I've got the part of the Sergeant Scareface that has the smile on. I know what a Rolo tastes like. I don't know what this caramel smile is going to taste like. Another thing worth noting, this orange pumpkin one, with me cutting it and then putting it in the microwave, the icing in the middle, that is, they call it a puddle donut, so it's like the icing's all in a well in the middle of it, so when I've cut it and then microwaved it, that's all slid out. So that's something else to be aware of if you are going to cut them up like I have. But we'll start with this one. They do smell fantastic. Cheers. Scoop that icing up there. So that vanilla icing is sublime. I think that's the highlight of this one. The donut is soft and fluffy. You would expect that. Obviously they're a decent size. I think the biggest concern for a lot of people, myself included with these, is going to be the value aspect of it. If you're only ordering 1 box for £15 delivered, it's working out at £3.75 a donut. That's nearly twice as much as Krispy Kreme donuts. If you buy them individually, if you buy them in packs, that they work out a bit cheaper again. I don't know if they're quite twice the size of Krispy Kreme, but I have had them delivered. They are much bigger. I'm going to try this down in the dirt next. First impressions are that they're better. I'm a bit conscious of this gummy worm on this one. Cheers. The chocolate icing's really nice. And crushed Oreos are really nice. Could probably do without the gummy worms on there, but I get why it's there thematically in terms of Halloween and down in the dirt and worms in the earth and that sort of thing. I get it thematically. In terms of the value, it really depends what you compare it to. I think Krispy Kreme would be the most analogous thing, but they're bigger than Krispy Kreme. They're all sort of handmade. It's a much smaller operation than Krispy Kreme. The menu's rotating more often, as far as I can tell. If you order 12 donuts, it's going to cost £35. That's just under £3 each. Krispy Kreme donut, if you just buy it in a shop, it's like £2.20 each or something. I think if you're having some sort of do, you've got a few people around and order a few boxes of these, it's going to be much more cost effective and much more worthwhile. You save the money on the box, and obviously the postage is divided over the 3 boxes. Essentially you only pay that once. I think that would be a much more effective way of enjoying them, rather than just gorging yourself on your own like I am. But it's still not cheap, but they are big and they are delicious. The Parallel Universe. I've got a plate and I'm still making a mess. Again, this vanilla frosting, that's exceptional. I know I should be talking about the donuts themselves, but I'm really impressed by the frosting. The donuts, I don't know, I just expected them to be good. For the price of them and what I've heard about them, I've only heard good things. I was expecting the donuts to be really good, and they are. But yeah. That raspberry white chocolate skull is really, really sweet. Yeah, finally, Sergeant Scareface. Again, this chocolate icing on here is really nice. The caramel sauce, it's alright if you like caramel sauce, I guess. Well, I mean, it's really good as caramel sauce goes. Well, I'm a bigger fan of chocolate than caramel, to be honest. That's why I chose this one. There were 2 chocolate donuts in this box. I think me not raving about that so much is just a personal preference thing, to be honest. Yeah. Would I get those again for that price? It's tough. I think objectively, look at it in the most objective terms. You can get a couple of ring donuts from Co-op for £1.10. I was in there the other day. They got Oreo ring donuts. £1.10 for 2. You can go to Morrison's, get 5 jam donuts, 60-70p. Or Tesco or Asda, but the Morrison's ones are better. They use icing sugar on the outside instead of granulated. They generally have more flavours. I had a chocolate orange donut in Morrison's once, that was really nice. Even Krispy Kreme is cheaper. If you've got a Costco membership, you can go to Costco and get the box of 9 salted caramel donuts. Those are fantastic. All those are cheaper options than this. This one might be more convenient, but I would argue 9 times out of 10 the other options are going to be more convenient. You're likely to be shopping in a supermarket anyway. Tesco sell Krispy Kremes, you're likely to be there anyway. This one you can only get it delivered on certain days when they're delivered in your area. Would I get it again? I think I would. You're supporting a small business. I would hope that with the economics of scale, the price would come down if these got bigger. The price of the product and the delivery would come down, but I don't know. But there's plenty of things that objectively aren't worth it that we buy anyway. You go to a dessert bar, a waffle with a bit of ice cream for £5, or milkshake £5.50 or whatever. It's just some ice cream and some milk with a 25p multi-pack chocolate bar blended into it. It's not worth a £5. We get them anyway because they're nice and they're a treat. These are cheaper than that. It's £15 for 3. A few weeks ago, we ordered we ordered from one of those dessert places for the first time. It was alright. I enjoyed it, but we're getting a few desserts for £5 or £6 each. We are getting it delivered on the same day, but the desserts are ultimately nothing special. You've got something like one of the Costco waffles. You got a tub of Mr. Whippy ice cream in a polystyrene pack, and we're looking at £5 or £6 each. They're all right. They got Nutella on or whatever. £5 or £6 each. So would I get these again? I can't say I wouldn't. If I spent £5 or £6 on those things and I was happy with them, I can't say I wouldn't get this again, because this is better value than that. It's much better value than that. There's variety in each box. I suppose the next question is, were those the best donuts I've ever had? Yeah, I think they probably were. I do really like those ones from Costco because I think the chocolate ganache or icing or whatever's on the outside of them is so rich and lovely, and you got that salted caramel filling. But that's a personal preference thing. I'm sure if these guys made a donut to those specifications, it would be better. I think objectively the donuts are better, and that's really cool. There's a lot of imagination gone into them. I think a lot of creativity. It is expensive. It's not something I'd get often, but it is something I'd get again. And if you've not turned off the video by now because you thought £15 for 4 donuts is ridiculous, then I'd recommend them to you. I think that the people I wouldn't recommend them to would have probably stopped watching the video by now. And I was very sceptical. I was seeing adverts on Facebook, and I was very sceptical, but I thought I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. For my own curiosity, I do like a good donut. For my own curiosity, and I can do a video on it and share my thoughts. And while I'm here as well and not in Liverpool, so they don't deliver to Liverpool, I thought, yeah, we'll try it. I think maybe next summer, if I can have a few friends round, if we can see people that soon, I would order 2 boxes of these and plan to have a barbecue on that day or something. I think it'd be nice. You know, it's 20 quid on a few donuts, but you easily spend that on a few other desserts from somewhere, or just a few beers. You know, you easily spend 20 quid on that. So, you know, 20, 30 quid on a few boxes of donuts. It seems a lot for what it is, but in terms of, you know, having something nice and enjoying yourself, I think it's, you know, that's another way to look at it. £3.75 a donut. You spend that on a pint. If we were going to the pub, we'd spend that on a pint. You'd have a pint as a nice treat, catch up with your mates. Maybe some people don't drink. Maybe some people like donuts. Maybe you do drink, and you like donuts, and you've got a pack of 4 Strongbow from the offie, and you get a donut with the money you've saved from not going to the pub because it's closed. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying hard to justify the price. I am struggling because it is expensive, but I shouldn't feel like I have anything to justify. It was expensive, but I really enjoyed it, and I would get it again. So that's that. If you disagree, you disagree. There's other things that you would spend money on that I wouldn't, because I don't think it's worth it, and that's fine. So I'll leave it at that. You can try them or not. Make up your own minds. But those are my thoughts. I really enjoyed it. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Cheers.